There's a silent battle being fought every single day, not on some distant field, but right behind your eyes. It's the war between what you can control and what you can't. You feel it when you check the news and a wave of anxiety hits you. You feel it when someone you love makes a choice that hurts you. You feel it when your carefully laid plans are shattered by an event you never saw coming. It's that feeling of powerlessness, that exhausting, soul-draining sense that you're just a ship being tossed on an ocean of chaos, completely at the mercy of the waves. You try to grip the wheel tighter. You plan more, worry more, try to anticipate every possible outcome. You replay conversations, strategize your next move, and exhaust yourself trying to bend the world to your will. But the world doesn't bend. The waves don't listen. And you end up feeling more drained, more frustrated, more defeated than ever. But what if the fight itself is the problem? What if the strength you're looking for isn't found in gripping the wheel harder, but in letting it go? The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a man who commanded legions and ruled an empire, understood this profound truth better than anyone. He wrote in his private journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This isn't a passive surrender. It's the ultimate strategic move. It's the discovery of a power so immense it can't be shaken by failure, by betrayal, or by fate. It's the key to unlocking a calm, steady, unshakable strength that the world cannot touch. This video is about finding that strength. It's about learning to distinguish between the noise of the world and the signal of your own power. It's about reclaiming your mind and, in doing so, reclaiming your life. If this is the clarity you've been searching for, if this message resonates with that part of you that is tired of fighting the wrong battles, do one simple, free thing to support this journey. Hit that subscribe button. It helps us grow this space for real, unfiltered wisdom together. Now, let's begin. The Great Deception, chasing control where it can't be found. Let's be honest. The urge to control the outside world is wired into us. We believe that if we can just manage enough of the variables, other people's opinions, our career trajectory, the stock market, the weather, we can finally feel safe. We think control equals security. But this is the Great Deception. It's a game rigged against you from the start. Trying to control external events is like trying to bottle the wind. You can feel it, you can see its effects, but you can never, ever own it. You spend all your energy building the perfect bottle, only for the wind to change direction, leaving you with nothing but an empty container and a feeling of foolishness. This desperate chase for control isn't a character flaw. It's a deeply human survival instinct. But in the modern world, this instinct has gone into overdrive. We are bombarded with information, with other people's lives, with endless potential threats and opportunities. Our brain, trying to protect us, screams, "Manage this, fix this, worry about this." Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." The unconscious drive to control everything is the fate for most people. They live in a constant state of reaction, their peace rising and falling with every headline, every email, every shift in someone else's mood. They call it a bad day, bad luck, or a bad year. A Stoic would call it a life lived at the mercy of externals. Think about how much of your mental energy is spent on things you have zero power over. You worry about what someone thinks of you, but their thoughts are happening in a universe you can't access, their own mind. You stress about a project after you've submitted it, but its fate is now in the hands of others. You get angry about the traffic, a past mistake, or a political decision, pouring your precious energy into a black hole. This isn't just inefficient, it's a form of self-betrayal. You are taking the finite, sacred resource of your attention and offering it up to things that will never offer you peace in return. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus was ruthless about this distinction. He taught that the chief task in life is to separate what is in our control from what is not. In our control are our thoughts, judgments, choices, and actions. Out of our control is, well, everything else. The world wants you to forget this. It wants you to believe you can hustle your way to certainty, buy your way to peace, and control your way to a life without pain. But it's a lie. The more you chase control over the uncontrollable, the more power you give it over you. The event itself doesn't break you. It's the failed attempt to control it that drains your spirit. The first step to finding strength, then, is a radical act of surrender. Not surrendering to defeat, but surrendering the illusion. It's the moment you finally admit, I cannot command the seas, but I can learn to sail my ship. And your mind, that is your ship. The inner citadel, forging your unshakable core. Once you stop wasting your power on the outside world, you can finally turn your attention to where it matters, the inner world. This is what the Stoics called the inner citadel, a fortress of the mind so strong, so well guarded, that nothing external can breach it. This isn't a place you're born with. It's a place you build brick by brick through daily practice. The strength Marcus Aurelius speaks of isn't a gift, it's a skill. And it's built on three foundational pillars: your perception, your judgment, and your response. Pillar 1, the power of perception. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens, and you interpret it. Two people can experience the exact same event, a job loss, for example, and have wildly different experiences. One sees a devastating failure, a confirmation of their inadequacy. The other sees an unexpected liberation, a chance to pursue a path they've always dreamed of. The event was the same, the perception was different. This is where your true power begins. You can't control the event, but you have absolute power over the story you tell yourself about it. The world will hand you a set of facts. You get to write the headline. Is it "Tragedy Strikes" or "New Chapter Begins"? Most of us let our initial emotional reaction write the headline for us. Fear grabs the pen. Anger grabs the pen. Insecurity grabs the pen. We forget that we can pause and choose a different author. Plato's allegory of the cave is a perfect metaphor for this. He described prisoners chained in a cave, watching shadows on a wall cast by a fire. They mistake these flickering, distorted shadows for reality. For them, the shadows are the world. But what happens when a prisoner is freed and turns to see the fire, and then the world outside the cave? They realize the reality they knew was just a poor reflection of the truth. Your initial perception of an event is often just a shadow, a distorted image shaped by your past fears and biases. To find strength, you must learn to turn around, to question the shadow, to ask yourself, is this story true, or is it just what I'm conditioned to believe? When you face a challenge, instead of immediately labeling it terrible, practice asking a different question. How can I use this? This simple shift moves you from the position of a victim to the position of a creator. It puts the power back in your hands. You're no longer just experiencing the event, you're engaging with it on your own terms. Pillar 2, the discipline of judgment. If perception is the story you tell, judgment is the emotional charge you attach to it. The Stoics practice something called phantasia kataleptike, which means seeing events with objective representation. It's the discipline of stripping away your subjective labels of good and bad. An event is just an event. It rains, that's not good or bad, it's just rain. If you're a farmer praying for your crops, you might judge it as good. If you're on your way to a wedding, you might judge it as bad, but the rain itself is neutral. We do this with everything. Someone criticizes you, that is a neutral event. They spoke words. Your mind immediately jumps to a judgment. This is an insult. This is bad. They are attacking me. That judgment is what causes your suffering, not the words themselves. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This is what he meant. We are tormented not by the thing itself, but by our judgment of the thing. Learning to control your mind is learning to pause before you pass judgment. It's the ability to see a situation for what it is, without adding the unnecessary layer of your emotional opinion. When you get an unexpected bill, the fact is the bill. The judgment is, this is a disaster, I'm ruined. Can you separate the two? Can you see the fact without immediately succumbing to the catastrophic judgment? This takes practice. It's a mental muscle. Start small. The next time you feel a rush of negative emotion about an event, stop, break it down. What are the neutral facts here? And what is the subjective judgment I've added on top? By creating this space, you interrupt the automatic chain reaction of event, negative judgment, suffering. You stay with the event itself, which is almost always more manageable than the story you build around it. This isn't about being cold or emotionless. It's about being clear. Clarity is strength. Pillar 3, the freedom of response. Between what happens to you and how you react, there is a space. In that space lies your power and your freedom. This is perhaps the most crucial realization in all of Stoicism. Most people live without that space. Stimulus and response become a single, fused event. The driver cuts you off, and you immediately lay on the horn, your heart pounding with anger. The stimulus being cut off and the response, rage, are instantaneous. There was no choice. You were a puppet, and the event pulled your strings. Strength is found in widening that space, even if it's just for a single second. The event happens. The initial emotion surges, anger, fear, jealousy, but instead of acting on it, you pause, you breathe, you observe the feeling without becoming it. You witness the storm inside you without letting it dictate your next move. In that pause, you get to choose. You can still choose to be angry, but now it's a conscious choice, not a blind reaction. Or you can choose a different path. You can choose to let it go. You can choose to laugh at the absurdity of it. You can choose to respond with calm, with reason, with grace. This is the essence of what it means to have power over your mind. It's not about stopping the initial emotion. You're human, the waves of feeling will come. Power is about not letting that wave crash your ship. You are the captain. You can see the wave coming, brace for it, and then decide how to steer. Aristotle believed that excellence is not an act, but a habit. The habit of pausing is the foundation of all self-mastery. Every time you successfully insert that space between stimulus and response, you build more of that inner citadel. You are training your mind to look to you for orders, not to the chaotic world outside. This is the strength Marcus Aurelius was talking about. It's not the strength to move mountains. It's the far greater strength to be immovable when the mountains crumble around you. Strength in the modern arena, putting it to work. This philosophy isn't just an abstract ideal for Roman emperors. It is a practical, powerful toolkit for navigating the chaos of the 21st century. Let's bring it down to the ground. Scenario 1, the tyranny of the inbox. You wake up and the first thing you do is check your email. There's a critical message from your boss, a complaint from a client, and an urgent request that throws your entire day into chaos. The outside event has struck. The untrained mind immediately reacts. Anxiety floods in. Your mood sours. You feel overwhelmed and resentful before your feet even hit the floor. The day is already lost, dictated by the demands of others. The trained mind, the stoic mind, sees the event but creates a space. You see the emails. You feel the initial jolt of adrenaline, but you pause, you realize, these are pixels on a screen. They are external. My mind is my own. You control your perception. This isn't a disaster. It's a set of problems to be solved. This is an opportunity to show my competence and calm. You control your judgment. These emails are not bad. They are simply tasks. My worth is not tied to my ability to instantly solve them all. You control your response. Instead of frantically replying from a place of panic, you close the app. You proceed with your morning routine, you stretch, you hydrate, you sit in silence for 5 minutes. You take control of the first moments of your day. Then, when your mind is calm and centered, you approach the emails not as a victim, but as a strategist. You've won the first and most important battle of the day, the one for your own peace. Scenario 2, the sting of social media. You post something you're proud of. A few hours later, you see a negative comment. Someone misunderstands your point, attacks your character, or leaves a sarcastic remark. The untrained mind internalizes it instantly. The judgment is, I've been rejected, I made a fool of myself. The emotional response is shame, anger, or defensiveness. You might spend hours stewing over it, crafting the perfect comeback, or deleting the post in a fit of regret. Your inner peace has been stolen by a stranger on the internet. The trained mind sees the comment for what it is, an external event, words from another person's mind filtered through their own biases and insecurities. You control your perception. This comment is not a reflection of my worth. It is a reflection of the commenter's state of mind. You control your judgment. This is neither good nor bad. It is simply an opinion. It has no inherent power over me. You control your response. You feel the sting, acknowledge it, and then choose to let it go. You might mute them, you might ignore it, or you might even find a sliver of humor in it. You realize that arguing is feeding a fire that will only consume your own energy. As Socrates supposedly said, when the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. You don't need to engage. Your peace is more valuable than winning an argument with an avatar. You have retained power over your mind. The unconquerable soul, the true meaning of strength. The world has a very confused idea of what strength is. It often equates it with physical power, with financial success, with a loud voice and an unshakable confidence that borders on arrogance. But this is a fragile kind of strength. It depends entirely on external validation. The moment the money disappears, the applause fades, or the body weakens, that strength evaporates. The strength Marcus Aurelius discovered is different. It is internal. It is durable. It is antifragile. It actually gets stronger when tested by the chaos of the world. Every time you choose to control your perception, you build resilience. Every time you practice non-judgment, you cultivate peace. Every time you respond with intention instead of reaction, you deepen your character. This is the ultimate freedom, not the freedom to do whatever you want in the world, but the freedom from being controlled by the world. It's the quiet, profound realization that your happiness, your tranquility, and your sense of worth are not up for negotiation. They are not on the table to be given or taken away by your boss, your partner, the economy, or fate. They belong to you. This journey is not easy. It's a lifetime of practice. There will be days you forget. There will be days the old reactive habits win. That's okay. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is the attempt. As Seneca said, to be always fortunate, and to pass through life with a soul that has never known sorrow is to be ignorant of one half of nature. Adversity isn't the enemy, it's the training ground. Each challenge is another opportunity to practice. So the next time you feel that familiar pull of anxiety about an event you can't control, remember the words of the emperor. Pause, take a breath, remind yourself where your true power lies. It's not in manipulating the outcome. It's not in forcing others to see your point of view. It's not in predicting the future. It's in the quiet, sacred space of your own mind. It's in your ability to choose your story, to withhold judgment, and to respond with wisdom and grace. It is the realization that while you may not be the master of your fate, you are, and will always be, the captain of your soul. Realize this, and you won't just find strength, you will become it.